Hmm. In the last class, we have what we have did the finding out the moment of inertia with respect to a T section, right? I think this problem I have solved in the last class. I think there have any confusion, you can clarify by using another numerical problem which I gave today. Huh? So if this is a T shape, now if in question come like a angle shape, okay, we normally called it as a angle shape, you all are able to find out the centroid, right? But now you have to find out the moment of inertia with respect to the centroidal axis. Okay, so when in the question it is said like that with respect to centroidal axis, your first work is you have to find out the centroid of that system. Clear? So to find out the centroid, am I need to repeat the centroid, how to find out the centroid, or you can do, because in mid same one you can already able to find out the centroid, right? So if in the question come like that, this elbow or angle shape, you have to find out the second moment of inertia, or we can say second moment of, this is the area sections, right? So we can say this one is the second moment of area. Clear? So the second moment of area of any L section, this is similar to L, so L section. So what we have to do, first make take it into the two different part. Hmm. Two different part means first one is, consider this one. First one is this part. Second one is this part. Clear? Two parts is there. If in the question it is given like the width is here 2 mm, here 6 mm, here again 2 mm, and here it is the, as this is the L, so take a little bit large, that is 8 mm. Clear? So if they are given like that, so we have to first take a two component of that, and each have how much of length? This is 2, this is how much it is? Please tell how much it is.
10, sir.
Yes, this one is 4 and this one is 2. This is the second part, this is the first part. Up to this I think anyone have not any problem, right? Now two things are there. First one is question, in question suppose they said like that, find out the moment of inertia or moment of area with respect to centroidal axis of this composite section. Okay, and second one is find out the same moment of inertia with respect to x and y axis. Suppose if the x and y axis is given like that, suppose in the question it is given here, this is your x, this axis is your y. I think my question is understandable. You can understand the question now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So to solve this one, first let's solve the part 2. Okay, because in part 2 here only we have to put the value as in the formula. How? Because they are said that with respect to x and y, please find out the moment of inertia. So what we have to do, simply part, right here part 2, simply put I of x for 1, means this one. Parallel axis theorem, when we find out in the last class, we have seen that any rectangle section, it is nothing but the BD cube by how much? BD cube by how much it is? Tell me. BD cube by 3. When we have to apply the moment of inertia formula for the case of when we consider the axis is at the edge. Have you remember? I have done already this thing, na? When I of x we have say BD cube by 12, it means that we have we already find out the moment of inertia with respect to centroidal axis, right? Means with respect to its center. But when we have to find out the moment of inertia with respect to the same rectangle with respect to any edge, this edge we are talking about, or this edge we are talking about, then this is BD cube by 3. When we consider this one, when we consider this x-axis, talking about x-axis, then BD cube by 3. When we talking about this y-axis, then DB cube by 3. Last class, last to last class, I think we have done this thing, na? Remember this thing or forgot?
Remember, sir.
Okay, good. So what we have to do, simply put this value here. Here is B is how much? How much is B here for this one rectangle number 1?
2.
Yes. And D is,
10. 10.
so put that value. How much it is? Sorry, 10. How much it is? How much it is?
666.66.
And the unit is which one? How much the unit? M to the power square, M to the power cube, M to the power 5, M to the power 4, which one?
Power 4, sir.
Yes. And similarly do this one, 4 into to the power cube by 3. This one you understand, na? BD cube by 3 for the section 2. This is for section 2. This is for section 1. How much it is?
10.66, sir.
Okay. Now the same thing we have to do for I of y1, section 1, y is how much? Same thing we have to do, that is how much it is? B D cube and DB cube. So D is B D cube D 10 into 2 cube by 3. How much it is? I of y for section 2. How much it is still?
26.67, sir.
26.67. Very good. Now, can anybody tell me is we have to use same formula for finding out I of y2. Can anybody tell me? Hmm?
Two into four cube by three.
No, we cannot use for this case. Why not? Because see, we have to apply the parallel axis theorem, right? But the parallel axis theorem, okay, let's see. If we use directly that one, what is the answer for that? Hmm. So 2 into 4 cube by 3. How much it is?
42.67, sir.
42.67, right? But we have to use the parallel axis theorem here when that is not attached with that axis. That is the problem. See, this body 2, section 2, it is not attached with the y axis, right? When we apply this bd cube by 3, when we can apply, when that object or that body is attached with the x and y. See, this is the rectangle, sorry, yes, this is the rectangle, and this formula is applicable when this axis is attached with this rectangle, right? For that reason, when we put this formula in case of x-axis, see, this is your x-axis, right? In x-axis, both 1 and 2 are on that x-axis. But when we have to apply I of y, we have to find out I of y, only body 1 is lies on the y-axis, right? Yes or no? These body too have a certain distance, na? Have a certain distance from the y-axis. Understand? Understand my point, or I have to repeat this one again?
Once again, repeat, sir.
See, the thing is little bit confusing, I think, for all of you. See, first of all, when we have to apply the area moment of inertia, in the question, sometime it is called find out with respect to the its centroid. With respect to its centroid means this condition. See, this condition means a rectangular body. Within that rectangular body, there have some centroid at the middle, maybe, or any shape, there have some centroid. Then if axis passes through that centroid, with respect to, we have to find out the moment of inertia. So for that we have calculated, means last time, na, last class I have shown, na, that take a small elementary stripe, then integration, na. So in such a manner you can find out bd cube by 12, right? But the question is, when we apply parallel axis theorem, and if that axis is at the edge, means this is your body, okay, and if an axis passes through this body in such a manner that it covered to edge, means this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis, both the axes is attached with this body. In such case, you can apply this bd cube by 3. And last class I derived this formula also, na? How bd cube by 12 for centroidal axis, and how bd cube by 3 for a body when that axis passes through the edge. Now for the present math, just think, on the x-axis, this is your x-axis, both 1 and 2 are lie, na? One edge are connected with the x-axis, but in case of y-axis, only body 1 is attached. Is there any connection of body 2 with y-axis?
No,
Please
sir.
reply. Is there any connection? No
No,
connection, right? So here we simply have to apply the parallel axis theorem. So for parallel axis theorem, what they told? So our concept for this case is not correct. No? For this case, it is not, we cannot apply this formula. So what we have to apply? I of y2 is equal to simply when the same body, means when the axis passes through the centroidal axis of that body, that is the BD cube by 12 plus area of that body into difference that two into square, na? That two axis and the square. So for the present case, this is your body, means 2, and this is your axis, and this is the center, right? Central axis means small x small y, sorry, you have to put here capital X. So small x small y, this is the center of that body and this is the axis, na? So this distance is how much? Okay, first find out the area. So area is how much? 2 into 4. There is a no confusion about that, right? And the h, and h is what? This is called as a h. So h is how much? This is your, you all know, this is the 2 and this is the how much? This is 4 total, so this is also 2. So this h is for the present case also 4, right? So we have to put what? I of y2 is equal to b is 4 and d cube is, oh sorry, we have to find out the y2, na? So y2 is bd cube, not bd cube, db cube, db cube. So d is 2 and b is 4 cube by 12, not 3, huh? This is 12 plus area is how much? 2 into 4 into h square is how much? 4 square. Any confusion here? Anyone? Hmm?
No, sir.
Is it clear right now? Okay, right? So please give the answer. Please tell me what is the answer for this.
138.67, sir.
How much? 438.
138.67.
Okay. 138.67 4. Okay. So finally we have to write that I of x is nothing but I of x1 plus I of x2, and similarly I of y is nothing but I of y1 plus I of y2. Okay, very simple. I think now your, if anyone have any confusion regarding the last time problem, I think now it is clear. Means you have to find out in such a manner the moment of inertia with respect to any axis, when it is attached with that edge of that body or when it is at a certain distance from that body. Clear? So shall I go another problem, another numerical problem? Up to this, is it clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, in the last class and today also, I have shown the numerical example that is based on the moment of inertia, area moment of inertia, where we can apply the centroidal moment of inertia formula as well as the parallel axis theorem and the perpendicular axis theorem. No, sorry, parallel axis theorem formula. Now we have to apply the perpendicular axis theorem, or we can say the polar moment of inertia. Clear? So in the last class, I think I have already told you that this polar moment of inertia, it is nothing but we can normally denote it as a J, right? Which is nothing but the I for the X and I for the Y, summation of that two, right? Have you remembered that one? This one? Have you remembered this one or forgot? Okay. Whatever. Please try to remember this thing. See, now in the question, if it is written like that, A see this one. This is the suppose in the question it is said like that, determine the second moment of a circular area of radius, if we say A, for example. Okay, so first, about an axis perpendicular to both X and Y. Suppose they said about an axis perpendicular to both X and Y axis. Clear? So can anybody tell me which axis is perpendicular to both X and Y axis? Hmm? In our coordinate system, which axis is perpendicular to these two? Z axis, simple, right? See, if this is your X axis, this is your Y axis, perpendicular to that, that is the Z axis. So perpendicular to both X and Y, or we can say about the Z axis. Clear? So this is called the polar moment of inertia. Okay, first solve this one. Hmm? Please send your attendance screenshot. Send your attendance screenshot. So polar moment of inertia, we can say, as this is perpendicular to both X and Y, so I of Z is, we can write it as a J, which is nothing but integration of general formula is which one? R square dA. So here R square and the close integral if we write, then that is the 0 to A, and that R square, and instead of dA, what we can write? A small elementary stripe we have to take. So we have to take a small elementary stripe if we consider this one. Okay, of thickness of that stripe, if we say it is, what we can say, dr. This is the thickness, consider this as a dr, consider, huh? So what we can write, the area is of that elementary stripe is nothing but the 2 means dA is 2 pi r into dr. Clear? Means what it means, at a distance r we have take a small elementary stripe of dr, so the perimeter, that is a 2 pi r, or we can say simply length of that circular section, and the dr, so this is 2 pi r dr. Clear? So what it will come, it will come as a pi r to the power 4 2 by, how much it is, 4, right? So instead of r, if you put d by 2 diameter, so we get pi d to the power 4 by how much? Okay, up to this I think There is a no confusion, right? Pi d to the power 4. Clear? Please say yes or no. Please tell something. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Clear, right? Now, in the question, if it is written like that, about any diameter, that is the x and y. Okay, suppose it is said like that. So, what we have to do? We have to simply put our theoretical concept, that is the along any axis. Now they said find the moment of inertia along any axis. So as I think iz which I have written here, it is nothing but we know I of x plus I of y, right? And these are how much it is. If I of x and I of y for this present numerical problem both are same, as this is a axisymmetric problem, right? If you cut this section here, it will give the same value. If you cut this here, it is give the same value. So it is an axisymmetric problem. So here I of x is equal to I of y for the present problem only. Okay, so as both are equal, so we can simply say I of x is equal to I of y is equal to I of z divided by 2. And I of z divided by 2 is how much? Pi d to the power 4 by 64 only, na? Because this is 32, this is 64. So it is clear. Now, if they say it like that, in normally you have done this for any rectangular section, this edge, right? But if a circle is there and they said with respect to any tangent, this is a tangent of this circle, right? So find out the second moment of area with respect to this tangential axis, if they said, which is parallel to the x and y axis. This is your x and y axis, centroidal axis, and this is your iz, means this is your z axis, this is your x axis, this is your y, and this is your tangential axis. If in question they say it like that, find the moment of inertia with respect to this tangential axis, then how you can find out for tangential axis? Simply we have to write I of x is equal to, simply we have to use the here also the parallel axis theorem. Remember this thing, I of x when it is pertains to the centroid plus a h square. H is the difference between two, but distance between two axes. So for the present case, I of xz, how much it is? Have you anyone remember any circular area? What is the moment of inertia when it is passes through the centroid? Have you remember anyone? I discussed this thing. This one. You have to simply put this one. Oh, sorry, this is the IG, na? XZ. Sorry. You have to simply put this, not this one. Sorry. Where it is? Not this one. Simply put this is the IZ, which is the polar moment of inertia. Put this one, which is the area moment of inertia, or we can say second moment of inertia. So this part. So you have to simply put here pi d to the power 4 by 64 plus a h square, and a is, you all know, a is pi d square by 4 into h square, and h is nothing but, h is what, this is the center of that circle, this is the tangent of that circle, and the distance between two nothing but its radius, which is nothing but the d by 2, diameter divided by 2. So here we can write d square by 4 instead of h is equal to d by 2 na, for the present case. So what we can write finally, pi d to the power 4 by 64 plus pi d to the power 4 by 16, which is 5 pi d to the power 4 by 64. Anyone have any confusion here? We can write this one as a x dash, or write tangential. Hello? Unit, this one is the unit. Hello? Anyone have any confusion here?
No, sir.
Okay. Please send the attendance screenshot. Send the attendance screenshot of today. Sometime, okay, I have time. Na? Okay. See, sometime they are asking, finding out, means the question is little bit tricky. They ask in such a manner that if a whirling is there and the equation of that whirling is have given, then you have to find out how much depth of that whirl is. Means if I draw, okay, let me draw this one. See, suppose, see, try to understand, this is the cross section of any whirling. Okay, what whirling? Sorry for my bad drawing. This is the cross section. Okay, means these are the water. Completely, these are the water. These are the water, and this is the wheeling actually. This one wheeling is there in the pond or sea, something you can see. So you have to find out this depth actually. And in this type of numerical problem, they have given the formula of this line, means this line. Okay. And for the present case, if we consider, means if the, as per the question, if it is said it is a parabola, okay, then what we have to do, and the question is what, find this height. Clear? So if it is a parabola, how to solve this type of problem then? And only they have given, this is the length and this are the point. If we consider, okay, consider this is the central axis, OO denoted as. So to solve this type of problem, what we have to do, first take the equation of the parabola. So what is the equation of this parabola for this case? That is the x square is equal to 4ky, right? This is the equation of that parabola. And from this figure, you can easily see that x is equal to, when a, this is your x, this is your y. So x is equal to a, y is equal to h, right? See, this is your height, which is h, small h, just consider for the initial case. Okay, and this is your a. Now, question is find out the h is how much when that willing, when it come into the rest condition, means for which condition we can say it is at the rest condition. So this is a little bit tricky type of problem. See, this is your h, as per question it is given small h, and as per question you have to find out the capital H for the which case we, means what is the relation between capital H and the small h, what is the relation between these two, only we have to find out that one. Okay, so how to solve this type of problem? We have to first take the equation of the parabola or the equation of that any curve which is given as per the question. Then x is equal to, take the boundary condition, means that is x equal to a, y is equal to h, right? So put that value, we can get h is y is equal to h square by x square, right? If we put this value, we can get this one. Now if we exaggerated this portion a little bit, then the figure is like, see, this is your, if we take only one portion, okay, this is your h, this is your a, this is x, this is y, and take what you have to do. Again you have to do the same funda which I have given before mid class to finding out the centroid. So how to find out the centroid for this case? Take a small elementary stripe area with respect to any axis, and if we say this is y axis, then take at a distance of x, and the width of this elementary area is dx, right? Have you remember this concept to find out the centroid? So what we have to do, simply put the xg is nothing but the integration of x1 dA divided by integration of dA, right? And this, we have to find out any solution, we have to do the close integral. So close integral for the present case is 0 to a, and x1 is present case is x, and dA for the present case is how much? dA, can anybody tell me how much is the dA? dA, which is nothing but the y into dx, right? Now the question may come, what is the amount of y? What is the amount of y? What is the amount of y? It is written here, tell me. Y is h x square by s square. So dA is equal to h x square by s square into dx. So we have to simply put here, instead of dA, h x square by s square dx divided by 0 to a h x square by s square dx. Okay. Anyone have any confusion? Any question up to this? Hello? Student, is
No,
my
sir.
voice audible? Clear, right? So now, as per the question, h is the, means capital I, h is the height of water at rest condition, right? So we have to find out the relation between capital H and capital H and the small h. Small h is the, for the present problem, have some willing condition at that case, at that state, the height, and capital H is the height of the water when that water come to the rest condition. So if we consider like that, the volume, we can write pi a square by h, which is nothing but equals to 2 pi xg into area. You have to remember this formula to solve this type of problem. Okay, volume formula you all know, that pi r square into h, that is the volume. And for, in case of applying the centroid, we have to do 2 pi xg into the area. And see, pi a square into h, which is 2 pi xg. Anybody tell me, for any parabola, what is the formula for the xg? Means you have to solve these equations. This equation you have to solve. Okay, so x h x cube, so this will come, if we simplified this one, x cube dx, this is x square dx na. So it will finally come 3a by 4. I think you easily you can find out from this equation. So we can write 3a by 4 into area. So the area is for the parabola a into h by 3. This is the for parabola, the area under the curve. Like for triangle, half into base into height, right? For cone, 1/3 of base into height. Similarly, for parabola also, this is the a into h by 3. So you just equalize these two, you can get h is h by 2. It means for the present condition, means when the certain wheeling is there and the water makes a curve which is nothing but the parabolic, nothing but it shows the parabolic equation. It means it will, when it come into the rest condition, it indicates that height of the water will, when it will come to the half, then automatically it is coming to the rest condition. This is the mathematical equation implementation, and we can find out any arbitrary type of problem like that. And this is also a very tricky problem, though it is easy, but this is a little bit tricky, and we can solve this type of problem and finding out the height of the water wheel in the rest conditions very easily, right? So today I end my lecture here. Next class I will start unit 4, that is the dynamics. Till now we have completed the static portion of your syllabus. So anyone have any confusion, you can ask me, or in the next class also. And in the next class I will start the dynamics problem, or dynamics conceptual theory. Okay, so thank you.